Canelo Alvarez to return in December, possible setting up a date for a showdown with David Lemieux. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
Sí, bueno, vamos a platicar con el equipo, a ver qué es lo que hay, qué planes y pues mi idea es pelear en diciembre. Vamos a ver si podemos lograr eso.
The question was, do you see it possible for you to fight in December? He said that, you know, we have to talk with my team. We have to figure things out. But the idea right now is to fight in December.
This next gentleman who, like I said, has power, unbelievable power. And he backed up his talk. He put everything together, like I said before. And when he puts everything together, he's the whole package. He's unstoppable. And he proved it and he showed it tonight. So let me call up to the podium David Lemieux.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, it seems as if we know that Canelo Alvarez is not going to face CHARLO in December. That's not going to happen, right? So, it's looking like you heard the audio and the way it sounds, the way Oscar De La Hoya introduced David Lemieux, and the way he spoke of David Lemieux, you know, saying that he was invincible, saying when he gets focused, you know, he's indestructible, you know, he destroys everything, you know, setting up a possible fight between David Lemieux and SAUL Canelo Alvarez. This is a fight we know that Oscar De La Hoya has been looking to make for quite some time. You know, at one point, he was looking to make the fight between the winner of Billy Joe Saunders and David Lemieux. That turned out to be Billy Joe Saunders that won that fight clearly, and the way he won that fight. And then it seems like Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, Golden Boy Promotions turned their attention elsewhere, right? And we've seen Canelo Alvarez face a different opponent. But he was looking to face the winner of Billy Joe Saunders versus David Lemieux. And Billy Joe Saunders clearly outclassed David Lemieux, and Oscar De La Hoya didn't want any parts of making a fight between Canelo Alvarez and David Lemieux. I mean, and Billy Joe Saunders. So they moved on elsewhere, and I believe they ended up fighting Julio Cesar Chavez, if I'm not mistaken. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure. But we know that, you know, stylistically, Billy Joe Saunders was all wrong for Canelo Alvarez because he fights in a similar manner of Erislandy Lara, and we saw how that fight turned out. You know what I mean? So Canelo Alvarez turned his attention elsewhere. I don't remember. I believe it was either Julio Cesar Chavez or it may have been Liam Smith. Don't quote me on it, right? But we saw how that fight turned out, and so they really stylistically they didn't like that fight for Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez, you know. So we saw Oscar De La Hoya and them go in a different direction. But should David Lemieux have won that fight? Yeah, they went. They ended up fighting Liam Smith. That's the fight they ended up. They ended up taking the fight with Liam Smith. And should David Lemieux have won that fight, they were looking to make that fight between David Lemieux and Canelo Alvarez, right? Because we saw in the manner, at that time it was a lot of talk that Canelo Alvarez was ducking Gennady Golovkin at that time. So, you know, they were looking to make comparisons because Canelo Alvarez was getting pissed off with the whole ducking Golovkin situation. You know, that's why he had a spat with the WBC. So, you know, the WBC ended up stripping him because he won that title versus Miguel Cotto. And they were trying to make that fight between Canelo Alvarez and Golovkin, right? And he ended up getting stripped. And that was the issue between him and the WBC, that being him being Saul Canelo Alvarez, because he felt like the WBC felt like he was scared to fight Triple G at the time. He ended up getting stripped, and Triple G ended up fighting for a vacant title. So fast forwarding to today, we know Saul Canelo Alvarez got the big victory over Gennady Golovkin last night. And now it's looking like, from the way the introduction, and he says that he want to fight in December, it's looking like it's going to be David Lemieux in December. You know, so people brace yourself. Don't be shocked if you see Saul Canelo Alvarez versus David Lemieux in December. We know he's not going to face JERMALL CHARLO in December. That's too much of a tough fight. You know, no knock against David Lemieux, but we've already seen David Lemieux outclassed and beat up. You know, so you know it's a lesser touch fight for Canelo Alvarez. And the way Oscar De La Hoya has set it up and announced David Lemieux, and you know, David Lemieux coming off a big knockout victory over Spike O'Sullivan, you know, it just sets up for a good fight for Saul Canelo Alvarez to defend his titles, middleweight titles, versus David Lemieux. David Lemieux also called out Triple G for a rematch. You know, they build up Triple G versus David Lemieux as this brawl, as this, you know, somebody's getting knocked out, and we saw that it was the total opposite. You know, Triple G chose to just box David Lemieux. It was set up to be this, you know, knockout, rock'em sock'em robot type of fight, and that was the furthest thing from the case, because Triple G decided to outbox David Lemieux, not to try to exchange with somebody with such power. So we know, like I said, Oscar De La Hoya has been trying to set up a fight between David Lemieux and Canelo Alvarez, and don't be shocked if we see that. And then possibly, you know, JERMALL CHARLO may have to, you know, just show up to the fight, be ringside December, and put a lot of pressure on him, and then we could get a big showdown, Cinco de Mayo, between JERMALL CHARLO and Saul Canelo Alvarez, which I wouldn't mind seeing. So, you know, this is going to give Canelo Alvarez the defense he wants, and a credible opponent, because they're going to say that he just came off a big knockout victory over Spike O'Sullivan. They're going to build up David Lemieux as if he never lost to Triple G, as if he never lost to Billy Joe Saunders. You know, they're going to make up all types of reasoning for him to losing to those fighters, and you know, and build him up, you know, build up off of the victory, the knockout victory over Spike O'Sullivan. So, you know, just don't be surprised to see Saul Canelo Alvarez versus David Lemieux December 2018. Since we see that Canelo Alvarez is seeming like he wants to fight in December. So let's not be shocked, and I'm pretty sure, you know, a fight with him and JERMALL CHARLO will be much bigger than Saul Canelo Alvarez versus David Lemieux. So it's harder to sell David Lemieux versus Saul Canelo Alvarez on Cinco de Mayo, but it would be easier to sell JERMALL CHARLO versus Saul Canelo Alvarez on Cinco de Mayo, especially, you know, him coming off a big victory over Triple G, and then him getting let's say he knocked out David Lemieux in December. You know, that was set for a hell of a fight versus JERMALL CHARLO in May and Cinco de Mayo weekend. So that's all I got, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, man. Do you think that we're gonna get David Lemieux versus Saul Canelo Alvarez in December? That's the way it look. That's the way it's looking. That's where all signs are pointing to, if you ask me. And you just listen to the sound bites. But that's all I got. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure y'all like and share these videos. That's all I got. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the